Shalom, peace, and blessings. Welcome back to Yohanatan's house. Sister Tara here. Today's video, I am going to show you guys how I make homemade soap. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need a few things to get started. You're going to need some distilled water, some mixing bowls and spoons, protective gloves for when dealing with a lye, because the lye in its powder form can and will burn you. You'll need a kitchen scale. I have my essential oils in this box, all different kinds of essential oils in there. You're gonna need your lye, your hand mixer. You're gonna need some molding. I guess you could use this for more protective wear, but it's not really necessary. And then your super fats, which this is, I'm using a coconut oil base for this bar that I'm gonna make today. You're gonna need your kitchen scale so you can weigh out your water, your lye, your oil. But that's pretty much really what you need this for. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure out my water and my lye, and I'm going to mix it in this bowl. Okay, so I am measuring out my water and my lye. Now this part, when the lye is in this form, is when it can be dangerous and why you want to wear gloves. And you will see when I start to pour this inside of the water, it'll start to steam up. But you really don't want to inhale. You want a nice ventilated area when you're doing this. You could do it outside, or like I said, just have a window open, something. You don't want to inhale this stuff. It burns. So you really want to make sure that it's mixed really well. And like I said, have a really well ventilated area, because this stuff does steam up. It's very irritating to your nose. So you really want to be careful when you're dealing with the lye. And right now this thing is hot. I don't know if you've seen the steam coming out of it, but we're gonna let that sit and cool till it's at least 100 degrees, 110, 100 degrees, before we mix it with our super fats, like our coconut oil, which we're using. And you know, you can use other oils and butters, but I'm just gonna do a simple coconut oil for this recipe. All right, I forgot to mention that you are going to want and need a thermometer, to measure your temperatures of your oils and your lye mixture, to let you know when it comes down to 100 degrees. Now you can see this thing is pretty hot. So yes, you're also going to need a thermometer. So you're going to want your temperatures to get back down to like at least 100. And I'm going to go ahead and add my lye water to my oil. And then I'm going to use my hand mixer and mix it. And you're going to mix this until it becomes trace. Basically a little thick, or mixed together, completely mixed together, the oil and the lye water. And this essential oils and your coloring. I think it's like a 0.5, and I'm gonna pour that whole thing in there just to get a nice good fragrance. And I'm gonna mix some more. I'm going to add some of this to this bowl because I have 2 colors that I'm going to make. So I'm going to put some in here so I can mix some with color. Have a nice color soap. Is a pretty color. Let's see. It's a pretty color. So now you see it has begun to trace, and we're going to go ahead and pour it inside of our molds, and I will show you after I'm done. You're going to want to like tap them so there's no air in it. Even though it's a little liquidy, it will solidify, so that's nothing to worry about. Alright, so as you can see, I let it sit for like a minute while I put some stuff away, and it has already begun to thicken up. And a lot of people use this time to just make a design on the top, make little swirls. Sometimes it gets even thicker. You can create like a little shape. And I'm going to add some dried rose petals to it. And then we're going to let it sit for 24 hours before we cut it. And let it sit in a dark, cool place so it's like cools down very slowly.
It it's called a picage, and it forms the word ash.
So after letting my soap cool down for 24 hours, now I'm going to unmold it and cut them. And then once they're cut, we're going to cure them from 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, colors came out pretty good. Sometimes you might deal with this if it cools too quickly. You might get a crack down the middle, but that's just fine. That's nice colors that I put in there. And I'm just going to cut it by hand. Some people have soap cutters. I'm just gonna cut it by hand so I can show you guys what the inside looks like. Oh, now that's a good looking bar. And it smells so good. So I'll just clean this up with like, you could just clean the edges off like that. Real simple. See? And there you have it. Nice bar of soap. That'll be ready, like I said, in 4 to 6 weeks. So I pray that you guys enjoyed this video and it is helpful. Again, if anybody would like my measurements that I use, please email me and I will give you the recipe that I use. Shalom, peace, and blessings.